Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the first tutorials on platforms. Today I want to add another one, a simple tutorial as on how to make blocks a little bit wobbly and they will fall beneath you, but after a while they will actually respawn in place, so that if you, for example, have a level in which you want to respawn or your character say dies or falls off and it goes back to a checkpoint, that the blocks are also back in place. So let's get right into it. We have these blocks here already. I will shortly, of course, delete them and we'll make them fresh. So just like last time, I'm just gonna look. This is from the game Emily's Adventure. It's also in the description. You can play it for free on itch.io. So please have a look there. I'm just gonna have a look here in my building blocks. And I actually created a block here. See if I can actually just drag it in. It's in the wrong layer. Put it in the player layer. Always be careful where the layers are. Sometimes Unity puts it in a default layer, depending on how your level setup is. Of course, the items are sorted, just like all these background items and front row items. They are in different layers or in a different order. So I have a block here. I don't have any light on it. I can put this as well, but today the main target is to make a falling block when you jump on it. So first we have to add, just like last time, a box collider, and let's fit it nicely in place. And then we're also gonna make it, of course, ground, so that actually people can walk on it. In this case, Emily, our character, and we gonna give it the player tag. Emily also will have the player tag. Sorry, I also made a tag with Emily, but it should be the player tag. I will explain you the reason for this tag later. So now you can actually already just stand on the block if correct. If I did everything correct, let's have a look. It's also raining in the level, this particle. So we can just walk on the block, jump on it, which is a good start. But of course we actually want the block to do something, to be wobbly and be affected by Emily's weight. To do this, you have to actually add a rigid body. So you can go to add component. Let's add a rigid body 2D because this is a 2D game. Whoops. Yes, rigid body. And within the rigid body, you can actually put different types of attributes, like the mass. So mass 1 is not very high. It's actually a very light object right now. And what will happen if you jump on it now with a mass 1? Oh, it will actually fall down right away, because we gave it has a gravity scale. So if you just want to have it hanging there, you put the gravity on 0. And now it will be affected by other things which create gravity. So in this case, our player character, if it falls on top, or any other rigid body which has a, let's say, a mass, it will fall down. So let me shortly demonstrate this. There, it fell down actually super fast. And the block is of course gone, so it will not come back. And this I want to prevent. So to our block 3, let's call it dropping block. And as always, within the player level, I would like to add, let's say, a new category with dropping blocks. And within here, I will add another empty, and I will call this dropping block 1. And there we add this sprite. The reason for this is similarly like last time. I also want to add, let's say, a target for the respawn location. Or let's also add this respawn location right away just by creating an empty here. Just gonna put it on the same level as the dropping block 1, put it below, call it spawn location. There we go. And on the dropping block, I also want to add one additional box collider, which should be a trigger. And let's make this a little bit neat. Of course, I want the trigger to stick out a little bit above the walking area. So when the player actually gets in contact, the trigger starts. Right, before adding now the Playmaker finite state machine, let's just change in the rigid body the mass of the object. I want it to be a little bit more, let's say, sturdy, to have more, let's say, stronger block in the sky. So let's put here 15, or actually let's put 20, and we will see the effect of that later. Good. Then this is ready. Box collider in place. Let's add the finite state machine. And the first, let's say, state will be a trigger event, because I want it to trigger an event when the player hits it. And I'm just going to put player, and that's also why I put, let's say, the block tag player, because if other blocks hit the blocks, they hit each other, I also want them to respawn. And then we're going to add transition finished, add one more state. And of course I don't want to have the, let's say, the dropping block respawn right away, so I want to wait, add a wait, and let's say 5 seconds, and then finished. Let's connect state 1. Perhaps we can call this the trigger. With the wait, you can also just click here, click to add state, wait, and then we're going to add a state in which we're going to create the new block. And here we're going to just create object, and in the create object I can actually just put, let's say, a prefab of this dropping block. That's what I will make it. I will make it a prefab, and the spawn point is this one. And then 1 second, before adding the game object, I just want to have this, let's say, finite state machine finished. And I'm just going to add now, or after spawning, let's say, the new platform, I want to destroy the other ones. Destroy self. Always make sure to first create and then destroy. The Playmaker function will always read, let's say, the actions from top to down. Destroy self. And I want to destroy himself. Create a dropping block. And if I now go here, let's hit the building blocks, sorry. And I'm going to drag this in. Then I have it now as a prefab. So it will create a prefab, which I have here, the dropping block, and then it will destroy itself. Let's see if this actually works. So it's waiting now for a trigger. I jumped on it, it triggered, it waits now 5 seconds, the block disappeared, and bang, it's back. There's the clone. If I push on it, you can see it has the same finite state machine, and it will also, let's say, create an object, and it will create itself again, and then destroy itself. So let's test this. And back, there, it's back. Great, that's nice. Now we can of course play around with this. We can put more blocks. Let's say we copy this one, put one more here, or let's say let's put one here, and perhaps we want to put some small ones in between which are not as sturdy or as heavy as this one. So let's copy one more, put it here, and this prefab I would like to have smaller, let's say 0.3. Now I have to be careful that the spawn point is also on the same location still. So if correct, dropping block is this one, and of course I have to go here on this block, go in the rigid body, and perhaps instead of 20, let's make this 4. Let's duplicate this one to get a little bit more different effects. Perhaps we click on this one and we make this one mass 6. Then let's add one more, 2 more. You can click on these, add here a 3, and on this one a 2, so it will drop very fast. Now let's make a 3. Save the scene. Always save your scene. Control S, and let's see if they actually respond in the way we decided. Whoop. Whoops. And let's see what will respawn. And as you can see, the big blocks and the small blocks are respawning as desired. I can jump the way back. This one can actually walk. Awesome! I hope it helped, and I hope you can make your game cooler like this awesome game. Please try it. It's in the description. See you around. See you next time. Thanks.